Welcome to the Supportive Ambition, where we celebrate creativity, ambition, and the journey of bringing big ideas to life. I'm your host, Danny, and each week I'll introduce you to inspiring voices from all walks of life. Artists, innovators, and dreamers who are pushing boundaries and redefining what's possible. This podcast is about the power of support, shared stories, and the belief that we're all stronger when we lift each other up. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Let's dive in. Today, we are joined by filmmaker and actor Gene Evans, the founder of Bleach, a Los Angeles film collective that's reshaping how independent storytellers come together, create, and get their work seen. Through activities such as demo days, acting classes, and community events, and even their own film festival, Bleach has become a hub of emerging filmmakers and working actors looking for connection, access, and a path forward. So I'm excited to dig into how Bleach came to be, why community matters in the creative process, and what it takes to build something that supports others while still pursuing your own art. Gene, welcome to the Supportive Ambition.
Wow, thank you so much for having me. Can I steal that copy for our website? That was good.
Certainly, I'll send it over to you when we're done here.
Love it. Yeah, no, I'm excited to be here. Any opportunity I get to chat about the industry and the work that we're doing and kind of the future of it, I am so excited for.
Awesome. Well, let's start a little bit with you first. How did film or filmmaking or just film in general enter your life? Was it an early obsession or something that slowly crept into your bones?
Ooh, I would say film specifically was more of a slow creep because I am a theater girl. I grew up doing theater. I went to college for theater performance. I would say entertainment has always been a huge part of my life. But theater or film itself, really entered my life whenever I moved to Los Angeles and I got plugged into this industry. I did, however, grow up very religiously watching sitcoms with my family, and I think that has definitely shaped a lot of the way that I pursue my career now. But I was theater. I was theater. And then I moved to LA and really dug into film and understood the importance of it. I think that coming from a performance perspective really helped me lean into that. But learning everything that I have about film, the reason why I'm doing film and not theater is because I think film has a very singular ability to change the world like nothing else.
Yes.
And it really is such an accessible medium and such a widespread medium. And I believe it has such a power to change perspective and change lives. I also, hot take, I love the business of it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
As an actor, you don't hear that too often.
No, you do not.
I love the business of it. Something about it makes so much sense to me. My parents are entrepreneurs, and I think whenever I really got introduced to the film industry, I was looking at it and I was like, whoa, I love this. I want to capitalize on this. Love theater. That's my girl. That's my passion. But film is really where I want to make a career.
Very cool. Very cool. I don't hear that often about people loving the business side of it. I mean, I don't think I could even say that. I mean, I don't like the business side of it at all.
It's funny because I don't like it, but I do love it.
Okay. That is a difference. That is a distinction. Actually, it absolutely is. You might not like doing it, but you love to do it.
I love to do it. Yeah. It can be very annoying. But it's such a mix of culture and commerce, and it feels just so at the forefront of what we are doing as a community, as a culture, as a world. And it is such a representation of the zeitgeist and of what's going on. And to have that just merged with art in itself as well. It's just the marriage of so many things. And you can see that on a film set as well. Like making a film is the marriage of so many things.
That's
And
true.
I think all of these different avenues being able to come together to create this one thing that could possibly like change somebody's heart and change somebody's mind or make them feel seen for whatever it is. I think that there are just endless possibilities to it, and that's why I love it.
Very cool. Very cool. When did you said you were an actor as well. When did you realize that, ooh, I could do this full time?
Ooh. I I really fell in love with acting whenever I was in high school. I had done some shows and stuff like that before, but I went to a teeny tiny high school I went to a teeny tiny high school in Missouri. I graduated with 40 kids, and with that ratio, I was like the only theater kid.
Oh goodness.
I
A lot of one man shows. Is that
was
what you're
the
saying?
one. Everybody like kind of did it, but I was the only one who was like taking it seriously. I was like
Okay.
assistant directing every show. And then I was doing speech and debate on top of that and doing those competitions where I get to do monologues and like be funny and do improv and all of that. I was getting some really early validation from people that like, hey, this is something that you should keep doing. And that was really encouraging, especially coming from such a small place where
Mm,
nobody was really doing it the way that I was doing it, we'll
right,
say.
right.
Um, and so then I just kind of kept on the theater track because I knew that it felt right for me. I remember going to university and I told my dad, hey, I'm going to major in theater performance and minor in business management. And he goes, are you sure you don't want to switch those? And I said, nope,
Nope.
I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know that I love to do this. And I know that for better or worse, like this is always going to be a part of my life.
Yeah,
It's to be in entertainment, to be in production in some way.
that's awesome.
Whenever I moved to LA and I started doing film, I still wasn't really sure because I was like switching my training over. I didn't really know. I was learning so much. I didn't know if this could be something I could do full time or if I had to figure. I was a wedding photographer actually. I was going to
Oh,
do
okay.
wedding photography, and like all of these other things. My parents have a travel agency. I could have been a travel agent and like audition. Like there were so many things that I could have done full time
Hmm.
and still done theater, still auditioned and whatever. But I feel like maybe 3 years ago, I realized that I was getting enough work that if I really put the time and put the effort in to keep it consistent, that I could make this into a full-time career. And I could start to see the path of this being something full-time if I really put, the focus in on my auditions, if I really started
Hmm.
to build something and start making things and building because again, there are so many opportunities in
Yeah,
this industry,
yeah,
and every path is different. And I've always been the type of person to say, why not me?
yeah,
It's never been why me, it's always been why not me.
yeah.
And I realized I've already made a ton of crazy decisions in my life to get me to this point. Why not make one more and just send it if I can't do this full time, take the risk on myself. I already moved to LA. I've already, started doing it. Why not just say it with my chest? So
Yeah.
then I quit a few of the jobs that were supporting me, but taking up a lot of time. And I chose to like really intentionally just struggle through it and put all of my free time into doing acting or filmmaking or just even networking, just doing anything I could to get plugged in and to build. Because again, there's no path. So you kind of got to do everything and see what
Hmm.
works.
Hmm.
And thankfully now my focus is a lot more narrowed because I've done a lot of trial and error. But yeah, it's been a very long journey. But I do remember it was a couple years ago that I looked myself in the mirror and I said, "All right, go
Let's
believe
do.
in yourself, kid. Like let's
Awesome.
do it. Why not?"
I mean, a lot of people don't have that moment, and that's why we see a lot of people, walk away from the industry and stuff like that. And so to realize that you had that moment and to move forward with it, that's very inspiring.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's important. One of my main missions really in what I do and like the stories that I tell and what do I want to say? Because every artist, everybody has something that they're really trying to say.
Yeah.
And I think one of the main things that I'm always trying to say is you can be anything you want to be, and you can do anything you want to do. And I think that's so rooted in where I come from and the fact that I just chose to do this. Nobody told me to do this.
Okay. I see what you mean.
TMI, I guess, but I was engaged before I moved out here.
Okay.
And I broke off an engagement to come out here and do this. I'm the oldest of five, and I left all my siblings to come out here and do this. And I think I really focus on the fire that these sacrifices have given to me and the fact that I have no choice but to make it, but to do it.
Yeah.
Because I've chosen to put myself in this position, and I really want to see myself succeed. I want everybody to see me succeed so that they know that they can also put themselves in positions to achieve their dreams.
That's awesome. That is walking the walk, if I ever heard it, right? So that's really cool. So is that where Bleach began, out of this, this fire that you have, this passion?
100%. That was so Bleach was started, I guess, a year ago now. My really good creative partner, Zach Pulliam, who's my co-founder, he and I did a short film together a couple years ago that he wrote, he directed, he cast me in it through Backstage. That's how we met. A classic LA love story. And I had written this short film that I really wanted his opinion on. So I sent it to him and he was like, whoa, love this. Let's produce it. Let's do it. So we were like, great, let's hop into pre-production. And while we were in pre-production for that project, we had a few conversations about why do people only make one passion project every 2 years, 3 years, whenever everybody wants to work all the time?
Mm-hmm.
What's the holdup here? Because I have so many friends, I could name 50 people who on a day off, all they want to do is be on set.
Yeah.
Who are sitting on screenplays, who are sitting on equipment, who are sitting on talent, underutilized. What is that about? where does all of that energy go? Why is everybody just being a barista? Like, why can't we turn over projects in this indie space? Really, there's an untapped thing here. So we kind of abandoned that project and started putting our efforts towards solving this problem.
Okay.
And in that, we realized we wanted to do what we could to make a difference there and start connecting people and start figuring it out. So what we started with was a production company. Very traditional. We were just trying to source scripts and create things. And we thought that the solution was like, okay, well, then let's just make more things and then more people will be working and whatever. And then we realized we don't want to be producers. I'm an actor and he's a writer director. And the last thing we want to do is be producing full time. What is the actual problem here? The problem was community.
Okay.
The problem was that people weren't organically connecting with each other, that they were showing up to maybe networking events or screenings or like events going on in LA, and they weren't like genuinely connecting with each other. It was very transactional. And I know because I've spent the last 6 years doing that.
Yeah.
What we decided to do was to start doing community events. Number one, consistently. We host something every single week. And number two, things that don't have anything to do with the industry.
Oh, okay.
We're going on walks. We're doing karaoke. We are going to play pool at the bar. We're going to an arcade. We're doing so many things that don't have anything to do with the industry because we believe in fostering friendship that begets organic collaboration.
Right.
And I have heard so much recently in our last few social clubs, hey, I met this person at Walking Club last month and we're making this like horror short together.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the mission. That's the thesis. That's exactly what we set out to do. It took a lot of trial and error to figure out exactly what it was. But now we have this thing where, every week we have 100 people at least show up. And at least half of those have been to our events before. So then you start seeing familiar faces. You get to catch up with what people are working on, with what people are writing. If you have an idea and you know that this guy's an editor, and then you get into your production process and you're like, oh, I need an editor. Hey, I met that guy at Walking Club. It begets work.
That's cool.
Not all of it's paid. It's a lot of passion projects.
Right.
But it is collaboration. And you think about what this industry is right now. All these people that are showing up and doing this are the future of Hollywood. Like, we are the future of Hollywood. We are next up in the filmmaking space. And so these projects that are being created right now through the connections in this group are foundational for who these filmmakers are going to become. And I think it's the way that it started and the way that it developed was just so incredible. And I have to give so much credit to Zach. Like, we have poured everything. We've been running this very nonprofit, very just because we believe in the message. And the way that it's grown and the way that people are taking it. We actually just recently brought on a social club manager, Alec Dean Beshan, and our intern Izzy Ursaz. They're helping us out, but we have everybody everybody in the community wants to volunteer. They want to help out. They want to host something, because it's becoming something a lot larger than what I even have control of anymore. Everybody's connecting, everybody's having fun, and that's all I care about.
There you go. I think you took my next 5 questions that I had for you already. So let me just skip down to number 7 on the what do you think you love most about actors and filmmakers sharing this community space together?
I think that what I love most about doing this and running Bleach is that the biggest testimony I get from our members is that they no longer feel like they're doing this alone.
Okay.
And that's massive to me, because I felt like I was doing it alone for a really long time.
Yeah.
And film is such a collaborative art. And you can't really get on set unless, number one, you're making it yourself or you get hired. And so then it becomes something different than a journey of a village, and it's more scrappy, it's more competitive. There are so many, and then if you're making something yourself, you're like asking for a ton of favors. It's not creating a community where you know that you have people who are eager and interested in what you have to do, even if it's just a conversation, even if it's just an update on like, hey, how's that script going? It makes you feel like you're not doing this by yourself. And that has done so much for me. That's what I wanted. That's what I want this industry to be. And I was raised in the church, and so was Zach, actually. And whenever we started doing this, we were like, we're kind of running this like a church. We got this like weekly thing going on that people know they can like consistently show up to. We've got the gospel of film right here that we're like preaching to everyone, and it's so funny the way that it's kind of just taken a life of its own. But really, I think what I love the most about it is that you just don't feel like you're doing it alone anymore.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Do you have a favorite story of strangers meeting at Bleach and making something together?
Ooh, let me think. Not too specifically. I was scrolling on TikTok the other day, and I had a friend post a video, And so I like, watched her video, and randomly halfway through it, she mentions this project that she's been working on. And I'm like, oh, sick. She's working on this project. Let me like hear what she's working on. And it sounds really cool. It's a short film. She's got this whole team that she's putting together. And then she goes, I actually met these people at a Bleach event like 2 months ago.
Oh, cool.
And we really hit it off and knew that we wanted to all make something. So now we're making something. And I was like, whoa. And I texted her immediately. I said, send me this video. I want to post it.
That's awesome.
And it's so random because I don't even know. I'm actually tracking down testimonials right now. I've got no idea what everybody's making. And so anytime somebody mentions something to me, I'm like, oh, let me get your name. What's the name of the project? Yeah. Yeah. Throw us on as associate producer.
There you go. That's really cool.
But it's awesome. I would also say on the flip side, some of the cooler things that has happened to us as a community in the last few months, especially, is we are starting to get some brand recognition. We are starting to get some like location recognition in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And we've been hit up by a few people to collaborate on events.
Oh, that's cool.
And because they like our message, right. And we can bring people. We've got the people for it. So last August, I believe. Yeah, last August, we did a pool party with Peer Space. And they loved our message. They wanted to throw a networking event with us. And so they provided a location and we collaborated on the event. But it was really cool to see that people are starting to notice that what we're doing is while it's a little different, it's so fundamental.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Just give a space.
Mm-hmm.
Space for people to feel seen and heard. And let them do the work.
Yeah. I think just getting recognized as your place in the industry is just invaluable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of the offerings you guys have at Bleach is something called Demo Days. Tell us a little bit more about where that concept came from and how that works.
I love Demo Days. So we actually, one of the services that we do offer is we produce demo reels.
Oh, okay.
And that's something that we've been developing over the last year, and we've got it in a really, really good position now. Essentially, what we do is we work with the client, the actor, on 2 or 3 scenes that they need for their reel, and I direct them as well, which is so fun. But I direct them because I'm an actor, and I know how to get a performance and what an actor needs for their demo reel. So I work closely with the actor on developing these scenes, these little 30-second to 1-minute cuts. And we hire a production team, we rent a location, I bring on professional supporting actors. And we make these scenes feel as though they are taken out of a larger project.
Right.
And that was another thing that Zach and I kind of saw a bit of a gap for, was we've seen demo reel production services, but they don't feel like they are contextually from a larger project. They just feel like somebody's just doing a monologue.
Right.
And so we bring on supporting actors, we get like an actual location, and we try as hard as we can to make it feel completely produced, and we bring out the best performance that we possibly can based on the needs and wants of the client, which has been some of the most fun work that I've done over the last year, is being able to develop these and and help people with their reel. Which is so important. It's just as important as your headshots.
Yeah.
And everybody's reel is lacking because you do short films to get footage, and then either the footage is bad or you don't see it for 2 years. What's that about? You know how many short films I did in 2023 I still have not seen? And I'm going to get it back and be like, that's not me. She has a bob. I can't put that in my reel. But like with these, we have completely edited, delivered footage within 6 weeks. So
Wow,
it's
that's amazing. I mean, I did a short film recently, and it was my first time. I come from a theater background as well, so it was my first time really on a movie set as an actor. So it was. I mean, I appreciated all the different roles of everyone, but it was a little overwhelming at times. So to have what you're saying as a demo day, to have it simulated that type of experience can be invaluable to a new actor just coming in because now they have, oh, this is what it's going to be like. They don't have to feel intimidated anymore. That's really
100.
cool.
That's actually, we are huge on education, and if we're on set, and I say terminology, like I'll explain what the terminology is,
That's
and we
great.
also talk to the actors beforehand, like what their experience is, so that we can level how the team operates on the day. And it gets you. It also, we have the ability to do IMDb credit for these as well.
Oh, cool.
Um, so that you, if they're original scenes, so then you have 3 credits.
Yeah.
So you get 3 credits, you get on-set practical experience in a way that's not like in some just studio.
Hmm.
It feels like you're filming a short film. Then you have footage that feels like it's taken from a larger project, and we edit it for you.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's a great point. We are education first because it's so, unless you go to film school, the education is so just like boots on the ground. Like you have to just experience it to do
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
You know, you can watch
Yep.
as many YouTube videos as you want, but until you're there, somebody's yelling at you or somebody's running around, screaming points at you, you don't really know what's going on.
Right.
So you're there,
Right.
you know what's going on. Um, yeah, that's a wonderful point.
That's awesome. I mean, and it also builds the confidence, I'm sure, of these actors to go from having zero experience on set to now, I guess, being yelled at by you guys. And it just builds that level of confidence. And for me, if I would have gone through something like that, I wouldn't have to wonder, oh, what does that person do? What does that mean? What does that terminology mean? And like you said, it levels the playing field. So it really brings those people up to speed rapidly. It's like a boot camp almost.
Yeah. And for the record, I do a very small amount of yelling.
Okay. Unless they ask for it, right?
Unless they ask for it. And that's what our consultations are for. It's like, what kind of director do you want me to be? What do you want from me?
I want you
How
to
do you
be a
work?
Tarantino type director. And
Well, it's great too because we're not really serving my vision, even though that's like traditionally what would be happening.
yeah,
We're not really serving the director's vision. We're not really serving the story. We are just serving the performance.
right. That's awesome.
And so if the actor wants to do some improv or change a tone or anything, go for it. Go for it. And I will help guide you through that. I find myself as more of a guide than a director because
That's
it's like,
cool.
what you want? All right, well, then here's my suggestion on how we get there. And then we find it together and we do that.
That is very cool. I like that a lot. That is an awesome offering that you guys have there at Bleach. It's something that I wish I would in my early days have known about, I guess. Well, it didn't exist, right? So there you go.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate you asking about it because it is a huge part of what we do. Because we wanted a service that also was the thesis of what we do, which is artist development and community growth.
Right.
And it really is an investment back into our members, making sure they feel elevated as artists and they
Right.
feel like they have the tools that they need in order to go and succeed. So it feels very foundational to who we are.
Very cool. So you also have your Bleach Fest, is that correct?
Yes.
What made you add that into the ecosystem? And while you were thinking about that, and you think about the films you pick for that festival, what goes into what you look for in a film when programming it.
Bleach Fest was stemmed from, Zach and I have a lot of big ideas, a lot of crazy ideas, and we just like throw them to each other all the time. And then if there's one that the other person like resonates with, we just do it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he suggested it. And we had been talking about doing some kind of like screening of works from within the community for a while. And we were like, I guess we just do a film festival. And so
Yeah.
we put it together, and we reached out into the community, and we told everybody, we're like, if you have anything, doesn't matter if it's premiering with us, doesn't matter if it's already done its festival run, doesn't matter if it's 2 years old, 3 years, I don't care. Send it to us. Here are the parameters that we're looking for. What we're looking for whenever we're screening is, number one, like, are you a part of the community? Which basically means, have you shown up to an event? Are you somebody who's like kind of investing in this? And even if you're not, the only prereq for the community is, are you involved in film? Great, you're welcome.
Hey.
So we got a very wide range, and I think when looking, we wanted a healthy dose of just like the taste of the community. So if you had multiple community members who worked on the film, then that was really enticing to us. We really loved, because that's what we want to showcase is
Right.
This is what the community is, and this is a reflection of the people that you're working with and around. So great performances, great cinematography, great directing, great writing are of course what we look for, because it's a reflection of the community as a large. And then we would invite the community to come and see this and be like, by the way, this is who you're going to get a beer with on Friday, and if you like this, then you have a direct access to this filmmaker because they're showing up to events. So if you see this filmmaker at Walking Club, you've got a direct line to be like, hey, I loved your film and I would love to work with you in the future. Because whenever you do film festivals and stuff too, and there's like the reception afterwards or whatever networking mixer, it's like you go and there's no icebreaker. You're just kind of around, and then maybe you strike up a conversation and you're like, oh, you gaffed on that thing. Cool, man. No common ground besides you're both at this film festival.
Right.
I think what Bleach mostly does is just provides a common ground.
Yeah.
The icebreak for filmmakers.
That's cool. When you're thinking forward or the future thinking, what do you think about, or how do you find it to be sustainable or sustainability in your creative career?
Ooh, sustainability, which is such an interesting word with the trajectory of the film industry of the last.
Yeah, that's true, I guess, in many facets. Yes, it is. Yeah.
We're all striving for sustainability and consistency. I think for me that in my personal acting career, I think that really means booking a few of the projects that I'm being sent out for in a way that helps me get a foundation financially, and also just as a brand and as an actor established. That would be a big step towards sustainability. I would say my big dream as an actor, filmmaker, creative, like what I'm doing, the dream really is creative autonomy and being able to do any project that I want to do, say no to any project that I don't want to do, whether it's something that I'm writing and directing or acting in or being offered or wanting to do for somebody else, just being able to have the financial ability to back it up or pull it or have the connections to make it happen or have like any kind of resource that I need.
Right.
Has kind of always been the dream. What I'm building right now is to be able to have the resources to do any project or not do any project. And so I think that to me is what sustainability looks like, which is really hard to find. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It is, you think you have it And then you see an interview with somebody who was a series regular on your favorite show growing up, and they're struggling. And I'm like, well, hold on. Is that what it is?
Right.
But I think that's also why I'm putting my eggs in so many baskets as well, because I know that even if the acting thing doesn't work out, which is going to, but I know that I have such little control in my acting career that I have the least amount of control in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all up to casting. It's all up to
Yeah.
what projects are happening right now. It's all up to positioning. There's so much that I genuinely cannot help.
Mm-hmm.
I can write and direct and produce and network and do all these things outside of the actual auditioning portion.
Right. Right.
That I think can elevate and can sustain my career. So even whenever I have an acting lull, I can pivot back over and focus on Bleach or, demo reels or producing my own projects or trying to get on as I do pretty much everything on set too. I assistant direct, I direct, I can hold any other position. So then I just kind of, the pendulum swings to the other side. I'm like,
Hey.
well, I guess focus on this stuff for a minute while I'm auditioning. And then whenever I get an acting project, I'm like, screw you guys. I'm going back in front of the camera. No. I love my crew. I love my crew. I think it's important for actors to be crew. I really do. I think it's important for actors to know as much as they can, because there's acting the craft and then there's acting the profession. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
as professionals, I think that it's important to know what to do between cut and action, not just
Right.
action cut.
Right. True.
Yeah. That's my little.
No, I hear you. And it's also important, I think, for actors to see the other side so that they know how to behave, I guess, with the other side.
Yeah,
If you will.
you really learn how to interact with people. What I find most helpful in my professional acting career is that I know what questions are about to be asked of me. I know what the sound person is going to be asking me. I know what the AD is going to be asking me. I know and I can preempt what's going to be asked of me, which makes people want to work with me.
Exactly.
And again, there's acting the craft, but there's acting the profession. And you are not going to get another job if you have a bad reputation.
Exactly.
If you do not know how to behave on set, if you do not know how to be a professional. Everything here is its reputation and its resume. You might have the resume, but if you don't have the reputation, nobody's going to want to work with you. It's a social industry.
Yeah.
Whoops. Who said that?
Very true. Has there been anything that you've had to unlearn in order to keep going?
That I've had to unlearn. I think I've had to unlearn the grasp that I've had on what I want my career to be.
Oh, good. Okay.
I have had to learn patience. I'm still learning patience. But I think I have this just insatiable desire for life and for experience and for feel like I am all desire with it and I want it all right now.
Yeah.
And I think I've had to unlearn the grind cannot be all that, because it puts you so concretely in what you think it should be, rather than just doing good work and allowing the opportunities to come. And my thesis personally is hustle and have a good attitude. Everything I do is hustle and have a good attitude. And I just really am focusing on that and not the series reg that I lost out on. Or the like, why didn't I get an audition for, like, why didn't I get an appointment for that? Why did this person book this? You really have to learn how to not be envious and to not pine for things that are out of your control,
Yeah.
which has been the biggest learning curve. I can only control what I can control, especially in this industry. So I need to invest in that. I need to focus on that. And I need to just wait.
Yeah. Patience, patience, patience. That is one of the hardest things to learn. Yeah. And to really grasp and buy into.
Yes. And sometimes I think I've learned it, and then something happens and I'm like, well, okay. All right. And you know what? I think about all the time is, if you ask the universe, if you ask God, whatever it is, for patience, they don't grant you patience. They grant you opportunities to be patient.
There you go. Oh, you want to be patient. Let's see. Let's have you
Patient.
practice that. Yeah.
Let's put that to the test. I'm like, great. Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you, universe.
Yeah.
God, that's awesome.
So what's next for Bleach? Is there anything that you're really excited about?
I'm really excited about 2026 with Bleach. I think we've spent our entire first year just figuring out what even we were. I remember we would get the question all the time, like, so what is this? And Zach and I would look at each other and be like,
It's
I don't know.
Bleach.
Yeah, I don't know, we're just getting a coffee and walking around the Silver Lake Reservoir. Like, does it have to have a label? But I think now we've really defined who we are and what we want, and we are very consistent in it. We've started with our walking club partnering with people in the industry to co-host it. So coming up here, my friend Olivia Levy, she's producing a mini series. She's an actress. She's a filmmaker. She's really on the rise. She decided to come and co-host with us. So then she gets to talk to our group about like what she's up to and encourage them before we go for our walk. And that's something that we're going to start integrating into our walking club so that we can have a little bit of somebody there to be aspirational and to answer any questions, to provide just a little bit more value to that. So we're excited to be introducing that. Our new social club manager, Alec, he's working really hard to get us some really cool locations for our social clubs coming up. And we've got a few hosts that are really interested in like very consistent like acting workshops and improv workshops and lectures and things like that. So we're really trying to get a solid calendar going. As far as large things like Bleach Fest or whatever, we are really interested in possibly starting like writing retreats and different kind of retreats that feels very much within the realm of the work that we're doing. But really what we want to focus on this year is just championing the people and championing the projects that the people are making, and hopefully we're starting to see some things come out this year that were being made last year from our community members and being able to help those get the eyes on them that they need. And then partnering with any brands or anything that feel aligned with who we are and what we're doing. We're talking to a few right now, and hopefully we see some more come in. But really, Zach and I aren't doing this to make any money necessarily. We both, I make enough through like acting, and he makes enough through his work, and we do demo days if we want a little bit of extra something for us. But the community is something that all we're trying to do, all we want from it is for it to be accessible,
Yeah.
and for it to grow. And all that we're going to do this year is just hopefully make that growth exponential.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what about you? What are you hungry for right now outside of Bleach?
Oh, I'm starving. No, I'm very excited about this year. And I can share a bit on here because It's happening this week. So I am going to be a part of Marvel's press junket for their next show, Wonder Man. They
Oh,
invited me
cool.
to
Okay.
and interview the leads and go to the premiere and everything, because the show's about Insider Hollywood and
Right.
it's about up and coming actor, and they sought me out as an up and coming actor to interview the leads about what it's like to break into the industry. So
Awesome.
that's very exciting. I think that my social media has been awarding me a lot of really cool opportunities, and I'm really wanting to dig into that to attend more events and like get into a higher level of Hollywood that would be really difficult to otherwise.
Hmm.
um, but last year I was able to attend a lot of really cool things, and I'm hoping that that stays this year on that front. In terms of like my acting career, I did a indie sitcom pilot last October called 20s, and that screens in a couple of weeks. It's
Nice.
done. It's ready to show. It's ready to shop, and all my dreams would come true if that gets picked up by anybody anywhere. It is one of the best projects I've ever done.
Awesome.
Uh, and it is just the biggest dream of mine to do a sitcom and to do a TV show like that. I also am involved in a few other like sketch series and web series. I had a web series last fall that just got put on Tubi, which was really cool.
Oh, fun.
So I feel like I've got a lot of rumblings of things that are happening. I've been feeling wonderful about my auditions, and my team's been feeling wonderful about them. And we are just so beyond excited to hop into pilot season this year. I'm taking a class at Graham Shields right now that is an audition intensive, essentially, and it's already really helping my technique.
Awesome.
And I don't know, I think, you know how I just have this sense of impending goodness.
I like that. Okay.
And I tell you what, I have been, Danny, I've been working and sowing so many seeds over the last 6 years.
Hmm.
And I feel like this is the year that I'm going to start seeing some payoff, and I'm going to start
Nice.
seeing some fruit from the work that I've been putting in. And I don't really have any specifics, and I don't really have any evidence to back up this feeling, but I don't know. I feel like it's something that and
Yeah, I
there's
gotcha.
this instinct to it that, and I talk to my friends, all my friends in the industry. I talk to my friends about this a lot, where there's this feeling whenever you're younger that you just know, and that's what you keep following. And the reason why we're out here, the reason why we're doing this is because we've learned to trust ourselves and trust our instincts.
Hmm.
And I just have a feeling. And, you know, I'm trying to do the patience thing and focus on the work and focus on making myself, staying ready so I don't have to get ready if it ever does come. But I know that I've put in the work, and I can feel
Right.
very proud about that. So that whatever happens this year, I know that it is a direct result of the work that I have put in.
That's awesome.
And that's what I'm looking forward to.
That is wonderful. It really is. It really, really is. Well, Jean, if people wanted to follow your journey more, where's the best place for them to stay in touch with you?
Instagram and TikTok.
All right.
Jean Evans.
Jean Evans. Okay. So
Yeah.
you guys out there, go look for Jean on social media platforms. Thank you for taking some time this morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time you guys listen to us. Thank you for joining us, Jean. We appreciate it.
Danny, you have been just the best, and I really appreciate being able to have a platform to chat. I love to chat. This has been so wonderful, and I hope anybody listening to this can just take the encouragement of you can do anything you want to do. You just got to do it. Truly.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, Danny.
Big thanks again to Jean for joining us and for showing us what's possible when ambition meets community. Bleach is proof that the future of film isn't just about projects, it's about people. And no one makes it to the finish line alone. Now, if this episode spoke to you, feel free to share it with someone who's in the middle of building their own thing. Because we're all better when we're building together. This has been The Support of Ambition. I'm your host, Danny, and thanks for hanging out with us.